ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਸਾਂਝਾ ਟੀਵੀ। ਮੈਂ ਹਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਰਸ਼ਦੀਪ। ਸਿਟੀ ਆਫ ਸਰੀ ਸਿਟੀ ਹਾਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅੱਜ ਖੜੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਸਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਐਮਰਜੈਂਸੀ ਲਗਾ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਗਈ ਹੈ, ਸਟੇਟ ਆਫ ਐਮਰਜੈਂਸੀ ਅਨਾਉਂਸ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਗਈ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਅਜਿਹਾ ਹੀ ਕਰਨ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਫੈਡਰਲ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਕਿਹਾ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ। ਹੁਣ ਮੇਅਰ ਦਾ ਕੀ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਫੈਡਰਲ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਦੋਂ ਗੱਲ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਫੈਡਰਲ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਇਸ 'ਤੇ ਕੀ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਐਕਸਟੋਰਸ਼ਨ, ਫਿਰੌਤੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਾਰਨ ਦੀਆਂ ਘਟਨਾਵਾਂ ਕਦੋਂ ਰੁਕਣ ਵਾਲੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਲੋਕ ਸਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਸੇਫ ਕਦੋਂ ਫੀਲ ਕਰਨਗੇ। ਇਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਵਾਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਜਵਾਬ ਲਈ ਆਓ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਸਿਟੀ ਆਫ ਸਰੀ ਦੀ ਮੇਅਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, Brenda Locke ਦੇ ਨਾਲ। City of Surrey yesterday declared state of emergency. Mayor is here with us. Mayor, yesterday you put forward a long motion and your council approved it, passed it. Tell us more about it.
Yeah, the motion was to ask the federal government to declare a state of emergency in the city of Surrey. As we all know, crime has only escalated in Surrey, especially in the month of January, but it has been something that we have been dealing with for almost 3 years now. On November 28th, there was a tripartite, a tri-government summit right here at the Civic Hotel to talk about crime and talk about crime, especially in Surrey. But we need that national attention, and so it was a unanimous vote by our council.
You said it's not Surrey's problem. It's national problem. So feds have to deal with it. It's really heartbreaking when we see innocent people targeted. Even kids are involved in this. It's really disheartening to see everything happened in Surrey. You mentioned the people that you are going to give them money to help arrest them people. You are asking for commissioner. You are now declaring state of emergency. Will that help to Surrey of people in Surrey?
You know, I do believe it will. What we need is that leadership. This is transnational and national crime that's happening in our city. This is a problem of immigration, of citizenship, of perhaps the criminal code. All of these things have to be reviewed. It's also things like post-secondary education institutions in our city. The private ones, some of them we all know are not genuine, and we need to see government at all levels all pitch in. They all are doing different things, and they all have different mandates, and what we're asking for is that leadership role from the federal government to say, we're going to tackle this together. I can tell you, I know every MLA in this city wants to see this stop. Every MP in this city wants to see this stop, and certainly, obviously, our council is right behind this idea of having the federal government move in. The challenges that our residents face are just tragic. And when you see and talk to parents who are sending their kids away, not just out of the city, but out of the province, and you see people that are afraid to go out at night, it's just tragic.
People are asking, are we safe? What will be your message to those people?
You know, I know that a lot of people are saying it's not if, it's when they're going to get the call. I know a lot of people say that. But I would say right now, I cannot say, sorry, right now, Surrey is a safe city. We're not. And we have to change that, and we have to change that quickly. But this is a long time process. If we're going to deal with refugee claimants, if we're going to deal with immigration claimants, we have to have a long-term vision, and that is why we need that commissioner that is going to lead this. We need somebody from Ottawa that's going to lead this. Local police force cannot. They do not have the capacity or the expertise to do it. We need the federal RCMP to come and help us and support us. They're the ones that have the reach that can.
Yeah, hope for the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Last night, the council unanimously decided to ask the federal government to call for a state of emergency in the city of Surrey. You know, I think for all of us, certainly I know all of you in the media, and certainly every single resident in the city of Surrey has seen the violence escalate. We had a summit on November the 28th where the federal minister, the provincial minister, and the premier, and of course local governments were in attendance. We have only seen escalation since then. It is the fear in our city is just tragic. It is every single day, sometimes many times a day. We're hearing of extortion issues. We're somewhere around 34 today to date, just this year, in the city of Surrey. So the number are just escalating rapidly. I believe Surrey is doing everything we can think to do. If somebody has something else we can do, we'll look at it. But I have to tell you, this is international and transnational crime we're talking about. This is primarily in Surrey in British Columbia, but it's also happening in Peel region in Ontario. It's happening in Alberta. It's happening in other jurisdictions as well. This is not just a Surrey issue. So we're asking the federal government to help us. We need help on a number of fronts, on immigration, on citizenship, on the criminal code, retaking a look at the criminal code. We need that consistency across our country to make sure that we're addressing these issues as a country, not just on an individual one city basis. When you're looking at Surrey Police Service, they're doing everything they can. The city has given them $250,000 for reward money. We said we would give more, and we will. We have a full department in the city of Surrey now that is singularly and only dedicated to public safety, and we have some very, very talented individuals working in that department now. The city has stepped up in every way we know how. We have our cameras downstairs, our traffic cameras that have all been enhanced, and of course they're working 24/7 and have been since last August. We're doing everything in our power. If there's something else we can do that we can think of, we will. But right now, this is about a whole bunch of other pieces. We need leadership. We need leadership from Ottawa, and we need leadership within policing. So the National Police Force, the RCMP. It was one individual that made a statement. He walked that statement back. So I am not concerned about our relationship with the RCMP. The RCMP, the provincial RCMP here in British Columbia works directly with the Solicitor General, and I have been in direct contact almost daily with the Solicitor General on this issue. This isn't about blaming or pointing fingers. This is a city saying, help us. We cannot handle this. We cannot handle this with this. The scope of this is enormous. And, you know, this year we're at 34. Last year we were at about 100, I think 160, 170. It's only escalating. If we don't do something, this is year 3. We're going to have another 3 years of this. We have to have some kind of coordinated effort with experts that can deal with this kind of level of crime. We need that, and we need it quickly. We are going to Ottawa next week. I have not heard that we are meeting with the minister. I'm hopeful. I know our staff are working on that to get that meeting happening. We are meeting, though, with the Minister of State, Patty Sahota, next week, and so we're looking forward to that. But I can tell you this is something that I'm really confident that every single MLA, every single MP in our city is wanting to see dealt with. And right now, the city of Surrey just is not able to do that. You know, that is a question for the federal minister. But I can tell you right now, we are in a crisis. I think everybody acknowledges that, and we have to see immediate action. There's 2 parts to it, though, right? There is the part that is the long term, because this is very much an immigration problem. But we also need to see this being affected immediately today. Um, when I hear from, and I talk to victims every day, when I talk to a grandfather saying they're going to kill my 1.5-year-old grandchild, at what point do we say this is just more than we can bear? We need that help and we need it now. I have not. I'm hopeful, and I did talk yesterday with Minister Krieger. She said she is going, as you said, she is talking to the federal minister. So I'm sure that will come up in that dialogue. I was pleased to see that happened. I was pleased to see the Surrey Police Service were able to do that, and I was equally pleased to see that the charges were laid by the Crown, because that was one of the things that we had been concerned about in the past, that the Crown wasn't reacting fast enough. So I'm very pleased to see the Crown laid the charges quickly. I was also, I did read the release, and I noted that they actually named the people that were charged. So that was something that we were glad, because we'd been asking to see those names. Now we want to see their faces. I think the federal government will be able to help us with that. And again, I will say this is lots of different pieces to this. Immigration certainly is a big part of it. And the whole issue of how people and when people claim refugee status, that has to be dealt with. How they deal with all of the schools that we are now seeing, the private post-secondary institutions that are nothing more than a front. We need to see all those issues dealt with. But we also need to have a strong look at our own criminal code, because I hear every day from members of the public that don't believe the laws are strong enough. I think they aren't now. I think the city of Surrey is being recognized. I think everybody does care. This is a very complicated and complex situation we're in. There's no one easy answer, but it has, in my mind, taken a long time to get here. As I said, we're in year 3. But I can tell you, because I've talked to, in fact, I was talking to 2 MPs, and they're equally as concerned, and they communicate with me a lot. So we're all talking here, but it's really important that the federal government helps us. We need one leader. That's part of, I think, what has been the challenge. There's been the province doing their work, the federal government doing their work, and the city doing our work. But we need that individual, perhaps, that is going to be a commissioner for this, that is going to really take this and lead it. We're doing the advocacy work. That is the big important part that and the role that the city can play. We're doing everything that we can think of in terms of supporting our police on the ground in Surrey, and certainly with the $250,000 that we gave them. If they need more, we have said to them, we will give you more. Let us know. We're not policing. I'm not a policing expert. I need the policing experts to tell us how we can tackle this crime.
ਸਰੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਰ ਦਿਨ ਗੋਲੀ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਅਤੇ ਇਸੇ ਸਾਲ 30 ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਘਟਨਾਵਾਂ ਵਾਪਰ ਚੁੱਕੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਅਤੇ ਸਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਟੇਟ ਆਫ ਐਮਰਜੈਂਸੀ ਲਗਾ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਗਈ ਹੈ। ਮੇਅਰ ਬ੍ਰੈਂਡਾ ਲੌਕ ਦੇ ਕਹਿਣ ਦੇ ਮੁਤਾਬਿਕ ਅਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਸਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਫੀਲ ਸੇਫ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ। ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਕਹੀਏ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੇਫ ਹਾਂ, ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਕਹੀਏ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਸਕੂਲ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਸੇਫ ਨੇ, ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਕਹੀਏ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ 'ਚ ਰਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੇਫ ਹਾਂ। ਇਸ ਲਈ ਸਟੈਪ ਚੁੱਕਿਆ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਟੇਟ ਆਫ ਐਮਰਜੈਂਸੀ ਲਗਾ ਦਈਏ, ਅਤੇ ਨਾਲ ਫੈਡਰਲ ਗੌਰਮੈਂਟ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਗੁਹਾਰ ਲਗਾਈ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਮਾਮਲੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੱਧ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਦਖਲ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਜਾਵੇ, ਅਤੇ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੁਧਾਰ ਵੱਲ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਇਆ ਜਾਵੇ। ਕਮਿਸ਼ਨਰ ਦੀ ਮੰਗ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਇਨਾਮ ਵੰਡੇ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਪਰ ਅਜੇ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਗੋਲੀਬਾਰੀ ਦੀਆਂ ਘਟਨਾਵਾਂ ਖਤਮ ਹੋਣ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈ ਰਹੀਆਂ। ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਮੇਅਰ ਦੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਲਗਾਤਾਰ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ਾਂ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਜਾ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਅਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਸਿਟੀ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਨਹੀਂ, ਇਹ ਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਹੈ, ਅਤੇ ਇਸ ਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਨੂੰ ਸੋਲਵ ਕਰਨ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਟੀਮ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ। ਪ੍ਰੋਵਿੰਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਗੌਰਮੈਂਟ, ਮਿਊਨਸੀਪਲ ਗੌਰਮੈਂਟ ਅਤੇ ਫੈਡਰਲ ਗੌਰਮੈਂਟ ਰਲ ਕੇ ਇਸ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਹੱਲ ਲੱਭਣ। ਕੀ ਹੱਲ ਨਿਕਲਦਾ ਹੈ, ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲਾ ਸਮਾਂ ਦੱਸੇਗਾ। ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਅਤੇ ਅਪਡੇਟ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੱਕ ਕਿਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਪਹੁੰਚਾਉਂਦੇ ਰਹਾਂਗੇ। ਦੇਖਦੇ ਰਹੋ ਸਾਂਝਾ TV।